Canada, you continue to shame me. Now, Chick-fil-A is a U.S. company. However, there's one in Ontario. See? Burlington. Not as bad as Hamilton, where the air is smooth or chunky, but pretty close. And this guy, which Kanye retweeted, showed himself singing to Kanye's West. And anyone who doesn't think this is a vile anti-Semitic song seriously needs to learn what the word liberal means, because clearly you don't have open minds anymore. In fact, Canada has become quite the embarrassment to itself. Canada, we're now on the international travel warning list of, hey, Jews, you may not be safe here. In fact, the only place where a Jew is technically, and not really even, safe is Israel, the place that gets bombed daily. And yet, none of you think of that. But Canada, you haven't stopped. Because our children, as young as 12, are being drawn into these extremist views. The view that terrorism is okay as long as it's done against Jews. Then it's okay. It's not really terrorism anymore because the Jews deserve it, right? They exist. How dare they? See, the Toronto police claimed that they weren't going to allow the pro-terrorists to interfere with the Walk for Israel. And yet, the Walk for Israel, over 50,000 people, had to wait over half an hour while the police allowed the pro-terrorists to walk the same route as the Walk for Israel was going to do, and then put themselves at the specific place where they were allowed to protest. Yeah, a class action lawsuit is being considered against Toronto for the fact that they don't keep their word for anything when it comes to Jews. Meanwhile, Bitch Talk has promoted anyone who's claimed that I was just being paranoid about Bitch Talk suppressing the honest truth about Israel. Well, anyone who is Jewish could tell you that Bitch Talk does this. And they have promoted this 19-year-old little terrorist sympathizer who said that what this asshole did when he went and killed a young couple that were just at a Jewish museum and happened to be from the Israeli embassy. So they deserve to die. And he said they did. And actually his response to the FBI coming and saying, do you understand that inciting hatred and encouraging terrorism is kind of illegal in the United States? His response to them was, fuck Zionists, fuck the FBI for harassing my family, and fuck Israel War Room. In other words, fuck anyone who's trying to hold him accountable for the fact that he's inciting hatred, and has a hell of a lot, millions of viewers. But that's okay, because it's against Jews. So the fact that Jews are indigenous, that Palestinians are make-believe, and of all newspapers, The Guardian in the UK, one of the most anti-Semitic newspapers on the goddamn planet. No evidence of genocide. Of course, it doesn't help when you have people from the UN coming out and making bullshit statements about how 14,000 children and babies are going to die within the next 48 hours, when actually the statement was supposed to be this many kids are going to be potentially suffering from malnutrition within the next 6 months to a year. And that's a whole big different statement, isn't it? 1,400 babies within, children and babies within the next 48 hours is essentially not dissimilar to what Hamas did when they invaded Israel and started all this shit. They came, and within minutes, they slaughtered thousands. But it's the Jews' fault, because they exist.